There are things your body and brain do every single day that the smartest scientists alive cannot fully explain. Not obscure things, ordinary ones. You will almost certainly do several of them before lunch, without a second thought. And if you cornered a Nobel laureate and asked how they actually work, the honest answer would be a shrug. We tell ourselves that science has the human body mapped. It mostly does. But scattered through the map are blank patches, places where we can describe exactly what happens and still have no real idea why or how. Let's go and stand in a few of them, because they are stranger than any mystery someone made up. Start with the one that heals you with nothing. Give a person a sugar pill and tell them it is a powerful painkiller, and for a large number of people, the pain genuinely drops. Their brain releases its own opioids. Measurable things change in the body. That is the placebo effect, and it is real and reliable enough that every serious drug has to prove it can beat a fake. But here's the part that broke the easy explanation. The Harvard researcher Ted Kaptchuk ran studies where he gave patients a placebo and told them the truth. This is a sugar pill, it contains no medicine, and a significant number still got better. Knowing it was fake did not switch off the effect. Somehow the ritual of being treated, the act of taking something, reaches into the body and changes it. Even when the mind is fully in on the trick, we can measure it happening. We cannot really say how a belief becomes a chemical. Now the biggest blank patch of all, and you are using it to watch this. You are having an experience right now. There is something it is like to be you, the redness of red, the sound of this voice in your head, the felt sense of being someone home behind your eyes. The philosopher David Chalmers called this the hard problem of consciousness, and it is hard for a reason that does not go away with more brain scans. We can trace which neurons fire when you see or feel or decide. But why is any of that accompanied by an inner experience at all? Why is it not all just happening in the dark, machinery working with nobody inside? Nothing in physics predicts that a lump of matter should feel like anything from the inside. And yet here you are, feeling. It is the most certain fact any of us has, and the one science has come closest to admitting it cannot yet touch. Here is one that is genuinely alarming when you notice it. We can switch you off, and we are not sure how. Every day, all over the world, people are given general anesthetic, and their consciousness simply vanishes. No dreams, no time passing, no self, and then is handed cleanly back hours later. It is one of the safest, most routine miracles in medicine. And researchers like the anesthesiologist and neuroscientist Emery Brown, who study exactly this, are candid that we still do not have a complete account of how these drugs abolish awareness. We know which regions go quiet, which rhythms in the brain break down. But the precise step where a person, an entire inner world, blinks out and then returns, that boundary between someone and no one, remains only partly understood. We cross it 100,000 times a day and cannot fully draw the map of it. Now the thing you do every night and no one can agree on the point of, dreaming. You spend years of your life in vivid, bizarre, emotional hallucinations, and science still cannot agree on why. One camp, following the work of J. Allan Hobson, saw dreams as the brain making sense of random signals fired during sleep. Another, including researchers like Robert Stickgold, sees them as part of how the brain sorts and consolidates memory, weaving the day into the whole. Others think they rehearse threats, or regulate emotion, or mean very little at all. Every one of these has evidence. None of them has one. You will generate several impossible worlds tonight, star in them, feel real fear and real joy inside them, and the plain question of what they are for has no settled answer. Here is a small one that feels like a glitch in the universe. Deja vu. Every so often a brand new moment arrives, wearing the unmistakable feeling of having happened before. You know it is impossible, and the feeling ignores you. Researchers like Akira O'Connor have started to close in on it. The current best idea is that it is your brain's fact-checking system catching a false signal of familiarity and flagging the error, which is why deja vu comes with that strange doubled sense of, this is familiar, but it can't be at the same time. That is progress, but it is still a phenomenon we can barely trigger on demand, cannot easily study, and cannot fully explain. A brief, private tear in your sense of time that vanishes before anyone can look. If the placebo heals with belief, its dark twin harms with it, and it is just as unexplained. Tell people a harmless pill may cause headaches or nausea, and a real fraction of them get exactly those symptoms, genuinely, from nothing. This is the nocebo effect, and it is the reason doctors have to be careful how they describe side effects at all, because the words themselves can manufacture the suffering. A sentence goes in through the ears and comes out as a real symptom in the body. We can watch it happen in trial after trial. We cannot say by what route a warning becomes a pain, How an idea made of nothing reaches into flesh and switches on the very thing it named. Here is a tiny one you have done since before you were born that nobody can explain. Hiccups. A hiccup is a sudden, useless spasm of the muscle under your lungs, followed by a snap of the throat that makes the sound. It serves no known purpose. It does not help you breathe, eat, or anything else. Babies hiccup in the womb before there is even air to gulp. The leading guesses reach all the way back to our fish and amphibian ancestors. That hiccuping is a leftover of an ancient gill-breathing reflex, misfiring in a creature that no longer has gills. But nobody actually knows. One of the most common things your body does, that everyone on Earth has done thousands of times, has no agreed reason to exist at all. Here is one you do with other people that remains oddly unexplained: laughter. Everybody laughs. Babies do it before they can speak. Deaf children who have never heard it do it. And it bursts out of us in a very particular rhythmic bark that we cannot easily fake convincingly or fully suppress. But what is it for? It's not simply things are funny. Most everyday laughter happens in conversation, at things that are not jokes at all, as a kind of social glue. The best theories say laughter is an ancient signal that a threat was only play, a way of telling the group, we are safe, this is fine. It is contagious, it bonds us, it changes our bodies. And still, the plain question of why evolution built this strange convulsion into every human, and what it is really doing, has no settled answer. And here is one so rare and so baffling that medicine barely knows what to do with it: spontaneous remission. Very occasionally, a serious, advanced disease, sometimes even an aggressive cancer, simply retreats and vanishes, with no treatment that can account for it. It is uncommon, it is real, and it is documented. Something in a small number of bodies does what all our medicine was struggling to do, and does it silently. And we cannot reliably say what, or why, or how to summon it on purpose. Somewhere in the human body is a capacity we have witnessed and cannot yet explain, which means it is also, tantalizingly, a door we have not learned to open. And here is one written into the whole species. Why are most of us right-handed? Around 9 in 10 people favor the right hand, and this lopsidedness shows up in every human culture and stretches back tens of thousands of years into the tools and cave art of our ancestors. No other animal shows such a strong, population-wide bias to one side. We can link it loosely to how the brain divides its labor between hemispheres, but why the split settled so overwhelmingly to one side, and why roughly 1 in 10 people quietly go the other way and have for all of human history, remains genuinely unresolved. The hand you just reached with is part of a pattern nobody has fully cracked. And to close, the mystery underneath all the others: why you need to sleep at all. Every animal with a brain does it, and it is a staggering gamble. Hours each day spent unconscious, defenseless, useless for finding food or fighting or reproducing. Evolution is ruthless about waste, and yet it kept sleep universally, which means the benefit must be enormous. We have found pieces. Sleep clears waste from the brain, consolidates memory, repairs the body. But a single complete answer to why a brain must go offline every day or die without it still does not exist. The most basic thing you do, lie down and stop being conscious, is, at its root, unexplained. So look at your ordinary day again, the belief that heals, the experience that shouldn't exist, the switch we can flip but not describe, the dreams with no agreed purpose, the tremor in time, the nightly surrender to nothing. We like to think the age of mystery is over, that everything left is just detail, a few decimal places to nail down. It is not. The blank patches are not out at the ragged edges of knowledge, they sit right in the middle, under the most familiar things you own. We have mapped galaxies we will never touch, and particles we will never see. And yet the belief that heals you, the dream you had last night, and the simple fact that it feels like something to be you, remain at bottom, open questions. Some of the deepest unsolved problems in all of science are not out at the edge of the universe. They are behind your own eyes, running quietly, every day. Doing things nobody on Earth can fully explain, including, right now, the strange fact that there is a you in there to wonder about them at all.